Happy Homebrew Wednesday, everybody. Just sitting here watching the World Cup. Actually, just recently had to switch over to watch the Nationals. World Cup games are done for the night. Want to get into a couple things, so I'm going to try to boom as quickly as I can. I wanted to bring up the Growler journey. As you can see, Justin Elder brought this up. This is it's like a half growler from a brewery in Kentucky called Wild Boys. So, here's what I'm thinking for all you guys who have your own kegerators and can fill this bad boy from your keg, please send me your information so that we can try to get this thing set up. The goal is to send it to at least 10 different home brewers so that basically going from one home brewer to another, to another, to another, all the way until it makes it back to me. I will also be sending a hard drive with this, and the idea is for you to record basically tasting someone else's beer, uh, describing what you put into here, and then if you also wanted to throw like a little video about its journey or anything else going on in your brewery, your home brewery or anything else kind of beer or homebrew relevant, add that to the hard drive as well. Now, someone brought up a great question. Hey, what if I bottle all my beers and I don't have a kegerator yet? What you could do is then, instead of just refilling it with your beer before it goes somewhere else, put in if you can take this to a place in your town that will fill it up, that will fill this growler, do that. If you got another nano brewery or you got a small little brewery nearby, even if it's a natural brewery, even if they'll fill the growler and you can ship to someone else, that's perfect too. The whole goal is really just to videotape this thing's travel all the way across the United States with at least 10 people. That's my goal. Right now I have 3 people. I am looking for at least 7 more. So if you guys want to get involved in this, comment down below. I'll save your name. My goal would be to ship this bad boy out in about another 2 weeks, but I'm just gonna hold it until I get at least close to 10 people, because I don't want to start shipping it around until I've kind of got the logistics set up, because I don't want someone like me and Maryland shipping it to California when there's plenty of states in the Midwest I can be shipping it to between here and there. And same for the people in the Midwest. I don't want them shipping it all the way back to the East Coast or all the way out to the West Coast if there's someone 50, 60 miles away that they could be shipping this thing to. The size of this is perfect. It will fit in one of those UPS. If you seal up the box, or if it fits, it ships. It'll fit in one of those, so it's perfect for that. Rates will probably be cheaper with FedEx, but really, it's the person who is shipping it. It's their choice. They can ship it in whatever they want. So that's that. If you want to get involved in this, comment below. So now, what happened this weekend? This weekend, I did a little brew day. It was supposed to be the first real test of my new system with the recirculating mash, but unfortunately there was a small problem. But instead of really explaining it right now, why don't I just show you the footage? So check out the footage of my brew day this weekend.
Alrighty, so here is the reason why I won't be doing any recirculating mashes, at least today. See this hose clamp? It looks like it would fit that, but that's really just the art of photography, because if you look, it's a little too tight. And this is as loose as it can get. And unfortunately for me, this is my smaller tube. This is actually no, this is my 1/2 inch, but it's not enough to fit onto, let's see if I can do this one-handed. It's not enough, and that's as loose as I can get it, and as you can see, it's just a smidge too shy to make it through. So because of that, I can't tighten down my hose onto my pump, so because of that I was getting a little bit of leakage. So until probably the next time I brew, which unfortunately isn't going to be for about another month, I will not be able to do any recirculating. So for right now, we're just doing it the old school way. Get my sparge water heated up. Still going to do a 90-minute mash just to see what happens. And there's basically going to be my boil kettle. So luckily for me, the wife and kids are gone today, so I can brew inside and not worry about how hot it's going to get in here. Because inside that refrigerator, I've got my extra SJ pour beers. So I definitely got something to drink today. So guess I'm just going to get back to brewing. That's it. Pat's Van out. Alrighty guys, so even though I wasn't able to use my pump to recirculate, I was able to still use at least part of my additions or souping up of my mash tun. Got my mash going in there. Hopefully it won't fog up too bad for you guys, but we're at the tail end of this. But yeah, this has worked perfectly. I haven't had to really watch the tubing. It's been nice. Normally every now and again I have to make sure that the tubing here hasn't slipped out of place, so having that right angle there was sweet. The next thing I want to do is just get maybe a diffuser on the other end of this, and the only reason for that is I used a piece of tubing for this, but I don't know. It didn't seem to work so well because the tubing kept bending. So what I was using was the clear tubing, which is kind of like this stuff, and it was just basically it bent too much, and it was getting crimps in it. And then when I tried using this was just on the opposite end. It's just, this tubing is so freaking stubborn that I couldn't get it to get a good bend in here, so it would just barely lay on the grain. It basically, once I got it bent to where I wanted it, it would just flop right out and like go pointing straight up. So I think I'm going to buy one of those like little plastic 79-cent diffusers that'll just kind of spray the water out, mist it. I saw Northern Brewer has them. They're like either 79 cents or like $1.79. So I figure I'll put that on the other side of the nipple right in here. Basically put one inch piece of tubing, just enough to connect that nipple to the diffuser, and we'll see. But as of right now, I mean I really do love this tubing. It's nice, it's very insulated, it doesn't kink, but at the same time, man, it is stubborn like an ex-wife. I mean, just a pain in the ass. Other than that though, I would still use it. I still plan on using it going forward, and if I ever run out of this, I'll buy more. But yeah, I like it, but man, it is a pain in the friggin' ass. So that's the update on our sparging. Alrighty, so here we are, taking my pre-boil gravity. Let's see if it'll zoom in here. Unfortunately, it will not, but it looks like it's reading 1048, 1050, so that's not too bad. Let's see how this bad boy does. Let's see how much efficiency I gain in the boil. But yeah, not a bad way to start. And as you can see, it's supposed to be a red beer. It's a little dark right now, but we'll see. The California ale let me clarify. The Super San Diego yeast that I've been using really clears out the beer. So this could end up being a red. As of right now, it's a little dark, but we'll see what happens. Alrighty, so here we are, almost at the boil. Let's see. We got bad lighting, I know, but that is 200 on my Blickman thermometer. Woo, that's hot. Shizzles. As you can see, we are very close to boil. Got a nice little bit of protein on the top. So, should be getting there. I collected a little bit more water than I needed, and that's all because of this. Excuse the disaster that is my house. I have 2 children that are absolute terrors. Damn World Cup, man. I'm a huge American football fan, but this freaking soccer stuff, you European guys might have something going here. This shit's pretty entertaining. Not gonna lie. Oh, ole, ole. I just like saying that. I've been drinking for a while, and I just like to say ole. So, coming back to you in a sec.
Okay, so as you guys saw, the brew day wasn't a complete failure. It's kind of my fault for not really testing out the pump before I did the brew day. I had a couple small leaks. 2 of them were Teflon related. The other 2 were related to not being able to basically have a wire or a hose clamp on the end of my Blickman Quick Connects. I thought, because I haven't really had a problem with barbed fittings before, I thought it would be okay without having to put the hose connectors on there or the hose clamps. When I realized it was a problem, I tried to pull some up from downstairs, but I just didn't have the right kind. So, kind of silly me, stupid me. Just another reminder that I need to really plan things out, and if I'm going to add something to my system, I should do a trial run before I ever get to doing it on the brew day. Luckily, it wasn't that big of a problem because I tried the pump out when I was filling up my mash tun, so I noticed it was leaking right then, and I was like, okay, nope, not gonna use this on my wort. I'm okay with losing some of my original mash water. I'm not okay with losing the wort. So that's that. Another thing I noticed, I was a little bit off on my efficiency again this time, and I started looking at my notes, and I think I've pinpointed the problem. I've noticed that on my last couple brew days where I'm really not hitting my numbers, I'm using some new types of grain that are rye malt and oat malt, and they're the real malts. They're not the flake stuff. And I think that I need to really be looking at my grains after they go through my grain mill, because on this mash, I looked at it and I noticed when I was cleaning out the mash tun that there were quite a few oat holes that were not cracked. And I was like, oh, well, crap, I bet you I'm not going to hit my numbers. And I ended up getting 70% efficiency, which I know some people might say, hey, that's not too bad. But I used to be getting the 80s. And these last couple brew days, I've been falling down. And every one that I've missed my numbers on, I've noticed I've either had oats or the rye malt in there. So I think I'm going to go back to using flaked rye and flaked oats. Basically, the majority of my adjuncts, other than wheat, I'm going to use flaked. And I'm going to test and see if that's going to get my numbers back, because I really think that's the problem. Those oats, I ran them through twice, and even when I was cleaning out my mash tun, I saw numerous chunks that were this big, or holes that were this big and were not cracked. So I think that's my problem. So we'll see, but I don't want to go on too long, guys. I am starting my SJ Pour review process, so let me get back to doing that. But can't wait to watch your guys' videos. Hope you guys are having a good Homebrew Wednesday, and hope you're enjoying the start of the SJ Pour comp. Cheers, boys. Have a happy Homebrew Wednesday.